Hey guys, what's up? It's Spartacus here with another video. Today we're going back to the original art map, the island. The map where we first learned the basics of the game with our thatched huts on the beach, and the place where we explored our first cave. Caves are one of the most important parts of the game, filled with high valuable resources, loot drops, and those damned artifacts for the boss fights. In order to reach those artifacts, you will need a companion. But what is the best companion for caving? That's what we're doing here today. I'm going to show you the best caving creature for each of the island's caves. First, I'm only using creatures that are available on the island map, so no Desmoduses, Shadowmanes, Rock Drakes, etc. Second, I'm not including the Tech Cave. The Tech Cave serves a totally different purpose compared to the other caves, so today it's out of the list. And third, I'm gonna assume you have a cryopod, or any other method of storing your creatures in your inventory, because you will need one for the later caves in the list. I'm gonna go through all the caves from the easiest to the hardest, and show you the best creature for each cave, and maybe some other viable options, all based on my opinion. Okay, let's get to the business. Starting with number 10, the Lower South Cave, with the Baryonyx. Regarded by many the easiest cave on the map, with no creatures spawned over the max level and no bats. I hate bats. But although the creatures in this cave are weak, they are many. The Baryonyx is the perfect candidate for this cave, being a strong mount on both land and water, capable of a devastating stun attack while swimming, and also being small enough to access the whole cave, with the exception of the artifact room. The Baryonyx also has the ability to heal really fast using fish meat, and that is perfect since all the ponds in the cave are filled with piranhas. The Sarcos won't be a problem either, since the Baryonyx can stun lock them and deals bonus damage against them. The only drawback is that its saddle is unlocked at level 49, and you might want to do this cave before that. In that case, I would recommend a Sabertooth, a great early combat mount that can access the whole cave. Before we move on, there's one more thing that I have to say about this cave. Keep in mind that there is a slight chance of a Megalosaurus to spawn inside. So in case you see one, try not to wake him up, okay? Number 9. The Central Cave, with the Baryonyx. The Central Cave is one of the shorter caves on the map. Similar to the Lower South Cave, it has normal level spawns. But this cave also has bats. The Onyx are quite annoying, since you can get Mega Rabies, so you will either need a bed outside the cave or lesser antidote. But the Baryonyx's height really helps with them. Being able to fully access the cave and to heal with fish meat from the ponds makes the berry the best for this cave. Don't forget the Megalosaur, they might spawn in this cave too, and do not wear expensive armor. Bring something cheap, like hide, that you can repair on the spot, since the Arthros can shred any armor in seconds. Again, an alternative for the Baryonyx is the Sabertooth, but you will need a good saddle on him. Anyways, this is still one of the easier caves on the map, so let's move on. Number 8, the Upper South Cave, with, surprise surprise, the Baryonyx. Yes, it's the Baryonyx again, since this is the land cave with the most water sections. And this time you have to go through them in order to get to the artifact. The cave is filled with the same creatures as the other two caves, so nothing new there. But this is one of the caves in which you can easily get lost. You might need some points into oxygen or a Lazarus chowder in order to pass the underwater tunnels. In case you bring scuba tanks, bring more than one, because Arthros exist. For this cave, I wouldn't really use any other creature, because of the amount of water tunnels and the tightness of the corridors in the cave. Number 7. The Northeast Cave, with the Thylacoleo. Finally, a cave where the berry is not the number one. This cave is pretty simple, a huge pit with a path spiraling on the wall. Obviously, the most dangerous things in the cave are the bats, Megalosauruses, and falling. The Thylacoleo is perfect for this scenario. Being a strong mount with top class stats, capable of fully accessing the cave, taking reduced fall damage, as well as being able to climb vertical walls and jump over gaps if needed, make the Thyla incredible for this cave. You can do the cave with a Baryonyx too, but you will have some problems exiting the cave due to its subpar jump ability compared to the Thyla. You can still drop down on the barrier like I do here for this explorer node, but you will have to dismount right before hitting the ground, or you will take a lot of fall damage. Anyways, a pretty straightforward cave that shouldn't take you too long on the back of a Thyla. Number 6. The Lava Cave, with the Thylacoleo. Just as you suspected, the main problems of this cave are the heat and the lava, and of course onyx. Again, this is one of those caves where it's easy to get lost, so a fast strong tame is a must for this one. The Thyla's ability to jump is its best asset for this cave, since it will help you avoid the lava as much as you can. But there is one problem. The Thyla can fit through the cave's entrance, so you'll have to use a cryopod to get him inside. The artifact is accessible from multiple directions, but you will have to jump over the lava pool regardless. The Baryonyx would be the second choice, since it can make the jump and can fit through the entrance. But I would still choose the Thyla for this one, since even a little mistake can be fatal in this cave, just like this one. No. Oh my god, this is bad. This is bad. Come on, get out! Yep, that was close. Next, number 5, the Swamp Cave, with the Megatherium. Poisonous gas, swarms of insects, many small corridors that will help you get lost in no time, diseased leeches, and creatures that spawn way above the normal max level. All these combined are the perfect recipe for one of the hardest caves on the island. But if you ask me, I think this cave is just time consuming rather than hard. Let's start with the gas. You will need a gas mask combined with a ghillie suit, or a full scuba set, or any 3 pieces of scuba gear combined with the ghillie suit. I'm gonna use the full set of scuba for this demonstration. For the small corridors, we need a cryopod, because we will need a big strong tame for this cave, and that tame is the Megatherium, with high health and an insane bonus damage. Once it acquires the bug killer buff, it's a killing machine in this cave. Check out this damage. The Megatherium really makes this cave a walk in the park. You will still need to dismount and cryo him sometimes to the next room, so be careful when you do that, because if you lose your gear and you don't have a backup, you will most likely die. So be extra cautious when you clear the room before you get those juicy loot drops or the artifact, since the latter cannot be accessed while riding the Megatherium. I wouldn't really recommend any other creature, but you can use the Barry, since it can take you from the entrance to the artifact without needing to cryo him. Number 4. The Caverns of Lost Faith, with the Basilosaurus, the first underwater cave on the list. Fortunately, it's not long or too complicated, but it's filled with possibly above max level megalodons, electrophoruses, mantas, hyderias, and yes, mosasaurs. Especially the first time you clear it, it's a challenge. The Basilosaurus is recommended since it is immune to the shock of both Cnidaria and Electrophorus. It has a ton of HP, so it can take on multiple enemies at the same time, but do not get surrounded. Even a really high level one will go down if you can't get out of a situation like that. Most creatures are hidden within the walls of the cave, so be careful when you dismount to grab the artifact or any loot crate. As alternatives, you can use a pack of Megs or a high level Spino, since it can kill Cnidarias before getting shocked and can use the few dry land spots to his advantage. Number 3. The Northwest Cave, with the Otter, back on land, with a cave located on the frozen northern shore of the island. The temperature of this cave is the first enemy, meaning you'll have to use some fur armor. The Otter can provide extra fortitude, meaning you might be able to use some more resistant sets of armor, such as flak. The cave is really narrow, which means you won't be able to use most mounts. That leaves you quite vulnerable. Inside the cave you will find Araneos, Onyx, so Mega Rabies is again a problem, and a lot of bottomless pits, which are instant death basically. So don't forget grappling hooks and parachutes. As for weaponry, use a sword combined with a shield and a shotgun for range. I suggest getting the artifact and heading straight for the exit before you get lost in this maze of ice. Number 2. The Caverns of Lost Hope, with a pack of high-level Basilosauruses. Seriously, do not go into this cave with only one mount. You will die, period. I'm gonna be an idiot and try this cave with 3 Basilosauruses, but I suggest bringing at least 4. You might think, or sure he's exaggerating, how bad can this cave be? Well, that bad. This cave is insane. Thusos, Mosas, Plesios, Megs, donkeys, eels, jellyfish, eurypterids, anglers, alphas, mantas, piranhas, this cave has them all. And with some insane levels too. Attempting this cave with 3 basilos was a pure suicide. I lost 2 of them and I had to feed the last one multiple times to regain health, and healing a 40k health basilo with raw meat and fish meat is horrible. The artifact chamber is not that deep in the cave, so half of the cave is optional if you want the drops and the XP nodes, but you will need a land mount for it, like a Spino. You could use some Tuzos, but you will have to use a cryopod to get to the artifact room. Another viable option is using a pack of at least 6-7 bred high-level Megs. They do a ton of damage in a pack and can easily access the artifact chamber. Take your time, heal your tames, and most importantly, don't bite more than you can chew. Number 1. The Snow Cave, with, fittingly, the Utayrannus. And here we are, the hardest cave on the island. This cave is nothing like the other land caves on the island. It's similar to the previous entry, but this time you have to go through the whole cave to reach the artifact. This cave is probably the coldest place on the map, so bring a higher quality fur set and an otter. You will need them. The cave is a long tunnel of ice, filled with polar bears, direwolves, perlovias, and yetis, all exceeding the max level, and a river that deals damage over time because of how cold it is. It's impossible to access the cave on a mount, so you might have to clear any creatures that spawn at the entrance with a shotgun. After that, the whole cave is accessible to the UT. You will need a good one, preferably a bred and leveled up one. The UT deals decent damage and has a good knockback, which can be used to your advantage by pushing creatures into the freezing water. All creatures in this cave deal insane amounts of damage, so keep the distance and try not to get overwhelmed. If you get surrounded, that is death 100%. The polar bears are the heaviest hitters in the cave. However, the UT has another weapon at its disposal, the fear-inducing roar. All creatures in this cave are affected, and most importantly, you can make perlovias come out of the ground, avoiding any attempt at stunning you. This is a time-consuming cave, needing to heal your Dino, or replacing him if his life gets too low. I wouldn't recommend using a pack of animals, since your pack members will easily get surrounded and killed. You will find the artifact in the last chamber, but there are a lot of loot crates along the way, so don't miss them. All in all, using the cave to your advantage is the most important thing. You might think that a Rex might be better, or even a Spino, since it can make use of its hydration buff, but both of them are too big to fit through most of the corridors. In my mind, the Utayrannus is the best for this one. Whew! There you have it, guys, the best mount for each cave on the island. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my future videos. This was a longer video, but I hope it will help a lot of the newer players. Let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestion for the caves and the reasoning behind your choice. That's all for this one, guys. See you next time. Spartacus out.